you had permission to go into the 14,000 hours of videotape. You knew what you were looking for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And in the story, you knew what time it even happened because the testimony was gunshots, gunfire.
Right.
And so that marked it at a certain time when they shot an innocent. So tell me about what you found, what the story was in the testimony, and then what you found on the tape.
Well, the story in the testimony from Special Agent, now this is Capitol Police Special Agent David Lazarus, is that when he heard the gunshots at 2:43, 2:44, broadcasted over the radio that shots had been fired, that he was down in the tunnels escorting senators towards the Rayburn building to the other Senate office buildings. And that's quite a long distance away from the House chamber where allegedly these shots were fired. He said at that moment at 2:44, he began turning around and heading back. Well, because we knew what to look for, we immediately went there and we started working our way backwards, and we found him in the tunnels at that time. The problem with it is that when he emerged from the Senate building tunnels in the subway system below the Capitol, and by the way, Glenn, these are videos that were never released to the defense attorneys in this trial.
If we were living in normal times, the people that had been convicted with any of the testimony revolving around these guys, they would be released. Any other time in American history, they would be released because this is perjury. And somebody set this up. Somebody.
And we're working on that trail as well.
Good.
But going back to Lazarus, so he emerges and comes back into camera frame on the Capitol TVs with absolute proof of the exact time down to the second of when he emerged back into camera. He even passes under an analog clock in the subway at exactly this moment, and it's at 2:48 p.m. when he finally reaches the other side of the tunnels from the Senate office buildings. And when that happens, the Oath Keeper Officer Dunn encounter is almost already over by then. He's nowhere near it, and he still has a long way to go. And then we were able to triangulate because, he'll go out of camera frame for a while, then he'll enter camera frame again from another camera.
Right.
And then he's down another hall, and then he enters another hallway, and then he shows up on the Senate side. And then by the time he reaches the bottom of the stairs that lead up to the rotunda, and it's in a little area that variously called the mini rotunda or the speaker's lobby. When he reaches the bottom of those stairs, it's now 2:45 p.m. and the Oath Keepers are long gone.
Okay, so now let me give you the exact verbiage from the testimony in the court case. Lazarus, the guy you've just been talking about, explained that one rioter asked, "Who are you? Who are you?" Then, according to the trial transcript, he testified. And, one attempted to, I had my lanyard on with my ID on it. And one, they were videotaping, and one attempted to pull at my ID, and I was kind of like grabbed it back and looked to make sure it was still there. And then I saw an opening. So there was just kind of like I walked fast to get into the office and check on the staff again. He then detailed description of what took place, what Lazarus described as a very antagonistic in 3 or 4 times that he passed by these Oath Keepers. Every time I interacted or came by, yes, it was very antagonistic. He said this under oath. When he was then shown in court a video clip of 4 Oath Keepers standing in front of Dunn, Lazarus was asked, "Are these the individuals you observed?" Yes. At any point in these 3 or 4 interactions in this space, did you observe any sort of anything but antagonistic conversation? No, that's correct. Here's the problem. They were already out of the building. At the time we know him now on camera, we have the videotape. The Oath Keepers had been gone for almost 10 minutes.
It was not quite 10 minutes. But when you're in the Capitol video room viewing this, we can put multiple cameras up on the screen at the same time, and then we hit one button and it syncs all of those cameras to the exact timeline. So we're able to watch Lazarus moving through the building in one quadrant of the screen, and then we can watch when the Oath Keepers leave. So as the Oath Keepers leave and they're walking back out through the rotunda, about to exit through the Columbus doors on the east side, it wasn't until that moment that finally Lazarus reaches that area where, in great detail in the trial, and we have the trial transcripts, obviously, in great detail, he describes what he saw, and it just did not happen.